Are the Packers the biggest threat to the Bucs in the NFC?
Oh, yeah, clearly. The Packers are the number one threat. First of all, they got to the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. Secondly, the first year it was with Aaron Rodgers as game manager. Wait a minute, is he slipping? That's why they drafted Jordan Love in the first place, right? No, he's just getting used to a new system. And ran it to perfection, not just a game manager, obviously, last year, but an MVP, having one of the greatest regular seasons in the history of football and obviously, maybe, arguably, in his own amazing career. So that's one. They have Aaron Rodgers. You think Matt LaFleur's ever taking the ball out of his hands in a playoff situation like that again? That's never going to happen. He's obviously going to be committed to the Packers this year. Right, Sago, could you imagine? He's obviously going to be committed to the Packers this year because, if anything, he'll be more motivated than ever if you're looking for external motivation. So there's the Aaron Rodgers of it all. How's the rest of the offense? Do they have a really good running back? Check. Wideout, arguably the best in the game. Some people are making that argument. Top three? Check. He has skills position players. Does he have a defense? Well, look, the secondary's real good, right? The front seven ain't like setting the world on fire, but they're competent. They're middle of the pack, maybe plus. Like, that whole defense is a good defense. And when you look at the schedule, they're not going to be the underdogs till they play the Chiefs at Kansas City week 9. Yeah, the Packers are the biggest threat to the Bucs.
Yeah, I hear you, Max, and I feel you, and I understand where you're coming from, but it's the L.A. Rams. And it's the L.A. Rams, one, because it has to be, because of how much they've leveraged their future in order to get Matt Stafford. But it's also, I always felt like they were a quarterback away. Look, I didn't trust Jared Goff. I know a lot of people did. I'm not saying he's not talented. I just didn't trust Jared Goff to be that grimy quarterback that you needed to be in crunch time situations like I do with Matt Stafford. Yeah, I said it. Matt Stafford, who's been buried in Detroit for a number of years, and thank goodness for Calvin Johnson, one of the greatest wide receivers ever. Or we might not have ever known that Matthew Stafford just consistently throws for 4,000 yards and puts his team on his back, even though the roster and even though that franchise hadn't done enough to keep him surrounded with a good football team. Here's the other thing. Sean McVay, as much as we laud about Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay is another guy that's supposed to be on that level from an offensive play calling mindset. And now you couple that with a quarterback. I love their offense. And let's not even look, I understand what the Green Bay Packers are, and Aaron Rodgers makes them that. It's a lot of turmoil that's been going on within that franchise. And I'm not convinced yet that it's not going to spill over into the season. I'm just not convinced. Maybe other people are, and it's a go by to get by. But the Rams right now with Aaron Donald and obviously Jalen Ramsey on the outside, and I know they lost pieces in John Johnson and Troy Hill, but I fully expect in a tough division, Matt Stafford to be the difference as far as the Rams and how much they push. The biggest threat to the Bucs or the Los Angeles Rams?
Rams are going to be very good. Stafford is an upgrade over Goff. They have, I mentioned.
No, I know they are, Max. That's why I just said all that I said.
I mentioned the Packers. I mentioned the Packers don't have a front seven that scares you, even if they're competent. The Rams have Aaron Donald. You mentioned the stars on defense. I get all that. And usually losing a running back wouldn't change the odds that much in my eyes. But Cam Akers was special second half of last season and looked to me like he was going to be a top 5-ish guy this year. And when you think of McVay, who's a great young head coach, already been to a Super Bowl, what did he do with Goff? It was Gurley plus Goff that made Goff look as good as he did that year. And Stafford needs less than Goff, that's true, because he is better. That's why you trade 2 firsts and a third and Goff for Stafford, and Goff was the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not pretend like Akers with Stafford wasn't going to be key to that offense, setting up everything else, including they don't have any one receiver that, oh my God, that's the best receiver in football, but they got a whole receiving core and they can all, put in work. Marcus, without Cam Akers, none of that works quite as well. And they did not replace him. You mentioned guys they lost, but that was easily their biggest loss. And even if they did have Cam Akers, and then it would make it tougher for me, give me the team with Aaron Rodgers. But they don't have Cam Akers. So, yeah, hell yeah. Give me the team with Aaron Rodgers.
I got you. Give you the team with Aaron Rodgers and give me the team with Matt Stafford. That's in a better situation. that hadn't had all of this turmoil going on in the offseason. Listen, man, like Max, you know this. You've been covering sports long enough. Let something go bad. Let a couple things go bad in Green Bay. You think this is over? Like you've been in the rap game before, Max. You watched the Locks and Dipset go at it last night. You know Aaron Rodgers is Jada Kiss of the Locks, but let Jada Kiss not get his checks. Meaning that's Aaron Rodgers.
Who's Styles P?
The context of that is let that be a situation in Green Bay where we go backwards, right? Like everybody's great now. We talking about it's a work in progress, and people took the interview between Aaron and Gutekunst as something that they're working through. It's a go by to get by, Max. I'm telling you. I told you last week that they signed divorce papers. Let it go bad. I'm concerned. I know
What
a lot
makes
of
you
people
think it's
think
going to
that you
go
just
bad?
wash this under the rug.
What makes you think it's going to go bad?
Max,
You think Rodgers is not going to be more motivated to be the best version of himself, if that's possible?
That has nothing to do with it. Aaron Rodgers got to be supported by a lot of guys around him. He has to be supported by the coaching staff as well. And Max, listen, I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers playing at an elite level. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers playing at an elite level and they still potentially lose games. It's when it gets bad because now the focus shifts back on, I don't have the guys here that I need. We don't have enough in order to win a championship. Listen, it may not, but what I'm telling you is I'm taking a team that didn't deal with that turmoil this offseason. I'm taking a team that made a significant upgrade at the quarterback spot and an offensive coordinator who's not going to take the ball out of his hands. I'm taking a team that went to the Super Bowl when we saw them with a really good football team. That's who I'm taking.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.